Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Srinidhi, right?
Yeah. I'm Srinidhi Ramesh, and I just finished my second year in mass media. And few months back, I saw on LinkedIn about the internship opportunity in brand management course, and now you will be guiding us in this internship, and I'm highly interested in that. So for that, I will be asking you a few questions about your experience in becoming a brand manager.
Right, right, Srinidhi. Good to have you
Okay.
work with us and happy to try and answer as your question as much as I can.
Thank you, sir. So beginning with the introduction, can you please share a little bit about your background and how you got started in this brand management.
Good question. Good starting question, Srinidhi. I started my career. I passed out of IIM Bangalore in 1981. And there I was kind of lucky. And also I did well in the institute. I was the second rank institute in my batch. So I got selected by Hindustan Unilever. And we started with the management training. And my first, so there was this 18 months rigorous training in Hindustan Unilever, and we were the batch of 13, out of which three got finally selected. 10 kind of left the internship or the training period. And there the first job was as a area sales manager. And after spending area sales manager and another role as area manager, it was through the rotation system of Hindustan Unilever that I got a chance to become a product manager. They call it product manager. They don't call it brand manager, but work is the same. A brand management and product management job is very much same if you look at it in a broader perspective. So it was joining Hindustan Unilever, working hard as a management trainee, working hard and smart as area sales manager, then performing on the roles that they assigned, that they thought. And probably I exhibited some behaviors. They said, yeah, this person can do product and brand management. So why don't we make him? And that's why I became, my first role was to become at Hindustan Unilever, and by the time acquired Lipton. So I was posted as a brand product manager for four products, four brands. And that's how my brand management started. I was given the responsibility of handling green label, leaf tea, Darjeeling tea. Then there was a tiger tea, there was a rich brew tea, and there was a yellow label tea. So these four brands were assigned to me to look after them. And that's how my journey in brand management started.
Okay, sir. Good to hear about that. So moving ahead, I'll ask you the second question. What are the common challenges you face as a brand manager and how did you overcome them?
Very good question. I think the biggest challenge I faced really was I had no clue of brand management when it came to actually doing it. We all get taught in the colleges, in the institutes, right? The marketing, we had a brilliant, extremely good professor, Professor Tirunarayan. He taught us all about segmentation, targeting, etc., etc. But when you become a
Right.
product manager or a brand manager, you don't have a laid out process or training. So I did not have any proper training. So it was like you were pushed into the swimming pool and said, "Hey, Arun, now start swimming." So that's how it started. So I had no idea. I mean, you guys are lucky. You're going to go through some training, understanding the process, doing some work. And I did not do any internship in product management. My internship in Hindustan Unilever was in a distribution subject with Hindustan Petroleum in distribution, sales and distribution. So when it came to becoming a brand manager and start performing, I practically say that I had no clue how to do that. So that was my biggest challenge. And how did I overcome that? I did not know that I could go and ask for training. I mean, as a product manager in a big company or a brand, you were very scared. And my boss was
Yeah.
kind of a scary type. He was not very friendly. He was very senior. And obviously, I could never go and ask him training, and I did not know whether. So, ideally, it would have been great if after I had become a product manager, there was an orientation program, there was a week's training. of this is how we do product management or brand management in Hindustan Unilever, and this is how you should do. But that never happened. So I had to
Yeah.
figure out on my own. I talked to there was another product manager that used to sit next to him. I used to consult him. Once in a while, I used to go to my boss also, but that wasn't very helpful. Now, what worked was the head of the business. The head of the team business was very nice and very thorough. So he used to call me for
So,
discussion. That helped me understand how to do the product management.
so you never really did internship in product
No, I
management
never had an
before?
opportunity. Well, I did some projects
Okay.
in Bangalore, but they were not internships.
Right.
So it was like
Great.
swimming on my own, completely in the sea, actually.
Now we are getting a lot of opportunities for doing many internships.
Absolutely. Yeah. So tell me, what more can I tell?
Yeah. So can you walk us through a typical day in your role as a brand manager
Look,
of your
again,
work?
yeah, again, a very good question. Now, in hindsight, I could divide the days. There are two kinds of days in a product or brand manager's life. Now, typically, your financial year starts in April. So you start planning for the next year sometime in December, September, October, December, January, February. 3, 4, 5 months goes into planning. So at that point of time, you're being asked to prepare a marketing plan for next year. So my head of business called me and my marketing manager called me, say, hey, Arun, what about the plans for all your products? And they said, don't worry about the Rich Brew and the Yellow Label because we're not going to put any money on them. So come back with the prepared plans for Tiger Tea and the Green Label. And Green Label we want to relaunch. This brand hasn't done well for over the years. We would like you to put a plan. Now, I had no clue what does a marketing plan look like. So that's how it started. So the few months, let's say 3, 4 months, goes in preparing a marketing plan. Actually, 3, 4 months, because it requires you to understand the consumer, research the data, prepare a draft plan, show it to your boss. The boss will make umpteen revision. Then you go to the head of business, you present. So a couple of months go into that. So that's a typical day. So those days go in preparing them. Once the plans are approved, then it's a question of implementation of the plan. So about, I would say, out of 12 months, 3 months you would be strategizing and planning, and 9 months you'll be actually putting those into action, working with various parts of the organization. I remember I used to go to the factory in Calcutta. I used to go to the sales team. I used to work with agency quite a lot. So in a day, you'll be meeting either the agency or be traveling to the plant, talking to the quality control, looking at the factory, are they producing the right quality? Working with the sales team, are they getting the right stocks or are they selling well? What are their problems? Working with the agencies to develop a new packaging or new commercial. So this is how a typical day goes as a brand manager.
Tough but interesting.
Yeah, tough but interesting is right. Absolutely.
Moving ahead,
Yeah.
what are some common mistakes interns make in this field?
Oh, again, a good question. I get a lot of interns, as you probably know by now. Uh, I have at any point of time about 15, 20, 30 interns working with me. Now, we have now a laid out process at Enrichmenters for people like you to learn. We say, okay, there are three things you need to do. You first do the SWOT analysis, understand the product, do the SWOT analysis that is assigned to you, then prepare strategies, and then start implementing. And you do this in a very short period of 8 weeks. So first week is in analyzing, second week in strategizing, and remaining 6 weeks in implementation. Now, most of the interns do the SWOT reasonably well. It could be done better, but most of them do SWOT. Now, the trick is when they finish the SWOT, I ask them, so, okay, Srini, so what would you do now? And if not Srini, someone else say, hey, sir, I would now start making changes in your content. That font is not looking good. It should be a blue font instead of yellow font. That is a mistake. A strategy doesn't mean changing the font. And what you
Yeah.
need to figure out is what are the they need to understand what is meant by a strategy. A marketing strategy means removing big obstacles in achieving your goals. If your goal of your course of your product is to achieve $1 million sale, and if you're struggling at 500,000 or something like that, then what is not allowing you to go to $1 million sale? And then what should you do? So understanding the key obstacles in achieving your goals of sales and profitability, and then making a suggestions and looking at alternative is what most of the interns miss actually. And this is what they learn actually. They start learning that first a marketing strategy doesn't exist in vacuum. It has to be versus certain goals. Then you need to analyze what are the obstacles in not achieving the goals, and then seeing what are the best way to remove these obstacles. Say, for example, I have lots of courses on Udemy. Biggest obstacle in marketing these courses is the reach. Udemy has about 7 crore students on their portal. Now, our courses have only reach of about 20,000, 30,000. So our biggest obstacle in making the sales multiples of what we are doing today is to increase our reach. So we have to work on increasing the reach. How can we increase the reach is the question that we need to discuss. And that's most of the time the interns miss. Did I answer your question, Srinidhi?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Myself as an intern, I have made such mistakes.
Right.
That's
Okay.
true.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go forward.
So, what advice would you give to someone who is aspiring to become a brand manager?
Good. Good question again, Srinidhi. So if you're aspiring to become a brand manager, my first advice would be to do an actual real life internship. You will read theory, people will tell you models, they will tell you how to do it, the process, but when you actually start doing it, you will forget everything. So learn by doing it is my first thing. So get into one of the companies that you think will teach you well about brand management, have product management. Work with them for at least 8 weeks. Learn how to do the SWOT, how to strategize, how to implement and refine your strategy. And I would advise all the people who are listening to this video to come and approach us any point of time. I have 40 courses now on Udemy, and I need a brand manager or product manager for each one of them. And any of you want to do any course, any internship with me, I'd be happy to help you learn by doing it the way it should be done. Right?
I think this is a great opportunity because college students cannot manage offline internship and college at the same time. So
Right.
this internship is beneficial. So we can work from home according to our time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right.
Okay, thank you, sir. So moving ahead, what are some essential skills or qualities you believe are necessary for success in brand management?
Okay. So few things I will tell you. First, you must be able to analyze. You must be able to analyze the product and market. Also, it requires good conceptual understanding. You must be able to see product is different from a market, a brand is different from a product. So those differences in concepts you must be able to understand. What does strategy mean? Does strategy mean changing the fonts of the presentation, or the strategy means figuring out how can you make, how can you reach a crore of students versus your current base of 20,000 versus a market of about 7 crores. So it's understanding first the conceptual differences, then analyzing it patiently using customer data and competitor analysis, and then thinking through. And one of the big qualities is needed is to hold back the impulse to implement immediately. All of us would like to go and do it immediately. So you must get used for a few weeks at least, or at least a week in this internship and in real life for a couple of months to strategize. Make presentations, share your thinking with your team, your management, your bosses, your colleagues, get your views. And that's where the good strategy is. The ability to think separately before implementing is one of the things. So thinking before acting is one of the key qualities that is needed apart from what else. What else?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So can you share a mistake or failure you have experienced in your career and what you have learned from it?
good question. And it goes back to my experience as a product manager for Lipton. So I told you I was assigned to relaunch the the green label brand, right? The green label team. And so people told me, my business head told me, my marketing manager told me that this is what we need to do, this is what we need to, and I did all that. They say we need to change the graphics of the pack, we need to get better quality and relaunch it with minimum budget. I did that. And I worked as they advised me, and we launched it, and it bombed. There's no change in the sales of the product or brand. So obviously, we did not get good marketing strategy. So in the hindsight, what I missed was, see, Green Label is a very niche product or a brand.
Yeah.
The taste of Darjeeling teas, some people like it, some people don't like it. So we needed to expand that category of people who like Green Label. So we needed to figure out who are the people other than current users who could possibly like a Darjeeling tea. Quantify that. Identify the right target customer. Then go ahead and make a value proposition to them and then actually do something that will convince them that drinking green label tea is a wonderful thing compared to what they're doing. Now, all that wasn't done. In hindsight, that's what I should have done. The biggest learning was, again, thinking on your own, not going by what the world tells you. You use a process, understand the process of thinking, of analysis, strategizing, and implementation. In strategizing, identify your product, what is the issue, what are the obstacles, what are your options to remove the obstacles, and then define the strategies, and then go and test them. If we do all that, I should have been able to do probably much better. Right, Srinidhi.
So the next question is finally the last question I would like to ask. What do you hope viewers, especially the interns, take away from this conversation to help them in their own brand management journey?
Okay. So what I think the biggest takeaway they can do is first, it requires actually going through an internship. A brand management you cannot learn by reading a case or solving a case. That's very easy. But because life is like this, that when you start doing, you get nervous and you forget everything. You forget all that you've
Yeah.
learned, and then you look
True.
for advice from your seniors and you do what they tell you. So understand the process, do an internship of long period. I would say 2 months is minimum, but if you get chance to do for 3, 4, 5, 6 months, do that. And once you do a longer internship, because the learnings will happen, if you look at maybe a 6 months internship, you will analyze in a couple of weeks, then strategize, and then you will implement. Now, the biggest learnings will happen when you start implementing. Be sure that your strategies, when you start implementing, will go wrong unless you are lucky. Then you need to tweak your strategies. You need to change the strategies to see what else can you do that will make the things. So experimentation is one big thing that people need to take away. Strategize, experiment, and find that golden thread that will work for your company. So that's what I would like you to do. I hope this is something that is useful to you and your viewers, Srinidhi.
Yeah, sir. Yeah, sir. It was great.
Right. So thank you so much for
Going-
asking these
Thank
questions.
you, sir.
Yeah, and I hope this content of this video is found useful by our viewers. And I look forward to meeting.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, I look forward to meeting all of you again once again.